Ja, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe SI-Talk PDEC 2017. Ja, das hätte ich mir fast vertan, für 2016, wir sind zwar schon 2017. Andrew Lee, East African Metals, ist bei mir und ich will mit ihm vor allem über das Thema reden, Finanzierung. Finanzierung ist das große Thema und schauen wir mal, wie weit es da ausschaut. Andrew, thank that you have time. PDEC is busy, unbelievable this year. Compared to last year was quiet, but this year is unbelievable. But the most point, or what the most people want to know, is how looks like the financing. I think this is a little bottleneck about the company.
It is true. The financing is critically important, and we've are in, I think, the enviable position of having become completely financed for our project in Ethiopia. But no, we've sensed just in general in the market that financing is really a challenge, and we have created the company in a profile that we think makes it financeable with a project that has a very high operating margin, low capital cost, and in an emerging sector. I think it's attracted the kind of money that we need, and now we have concluded that financing and expect to be moving forward.
Was Ethiopia a problem, or is Ethiopia not really an issue?
African countries in Ethiopia do have a general amount of country risk, and it's one of the key issues that we have to focus on managing when we get in there. Our business plan has always been about taking on country risk in exchange for geological opportunities, and that's been evidenced by our success rate in Ethiopia, where our cost per ounce of discovery is about $12 an ounce, significantly lower than you would expect in other jurisdictions. The other side of that coin is you have to be engaged with the government, with foreign services and embassies, to make sure that you've got the political capital and the social capital to continue to move forward. And I think we're waiting now on the approval of our permit. We expect to see it in the next few weeks, and I think once we do, it'll be evidence that we've managed that aspect of the country risk very well and are moving forward.
So when we think, okay, everything running fine, financing, permitting, everything, what the people can expect for this year?
Well, this year we will initiate construction on the permitted mine, but we'll also be filing our second mine permit application probably before October at the Adiabo property, where we would expect to be identifying a project there that will come online again in 2018. So we expect that by the end of 2018 we'll have two operating mines in Ethiopia and cash flow coming from our Tanzanian project as well. So again, the company's been built with the knowledge and the understanding that financing is a problem. And one of the things that solves financing is cash flow. So we expect to be building our cash flow this year and next year, getting our first revenues certainly in the second quarter here from Tanzania, and then augmenting those with both the harvest operation, the heap leach operation, and then the Datambuk operation, which will be the second mine in production. So we feel that our long-term objectives in building value in Ethiopia are quite secure right now because we have the assets, we have the financing. We expect to start getting our company generating revenue, and that again influences your ability to finance as well as grow the company. It's the same old story. I'm sure everybody's aware of it. If you have money, everybody wants to give you money, and if you don't have any, it's hard to find.
Yeah, but this time I heard the first time since 5 years or something, when I walk around and the people say by the booth, this is the first time that people come to us and say, hey, do you need money? And this was a big change. It's also for me a big change that the industry is turning around and now looking for investment opportunities there. Is it possible that this financing, what you already do, is maybe the last one in the company?
I would think it's probably the last one we'll need. Certainly the cash flow that we'll be generating from the harvest project will be sufficient to fund all of our activities in Ethiopia, and then you add on top of that Datambuk, which would be another high operating margin, low capex situation. It won't be heap leach, but it will have a significant operating margin. Operating margin is really the key number that we focus in on with respect to generating cash flow, because if you've got enough operating margin, then not only are you going to have great returns and your costs are going to be low, but you also got a buffer in there that if you encounter some turbulence in the markets or turbulence in your operations, that you can carry on and go through them and resolve those issues. So we feel secure in our assets. We feel reasonably secure in the country, and after we have our permit, we'll be completely secure. I should mention this is the first permit that's being granted in Ethiopia under the new Mining Act that was passed in 2010. So we'll be establishing precedents that we will be able to use going forward, where we will have done this process successfully once with the government, and we'll be establishing a path that we can follow with our subsequent projects. And in terms of the long-term project, we're talking about establishing 2 mines, but there's lots more to come.
Coming back to the finance, and the reason why I ask about the finance, and maybe it's the last one, is especially the Europeans hate the dilution, and
Yes.
With every financing you come up with a dilution. My last question is it really your goal to bring in the production, bring the next mine in production, or you think then when you establish the first miner and the permitting and everything, that somebody comes and acquire you?
Well, that is the opportunity as well, and there is interest. We have seen interest in that from other companies, but we need to get the company fully valued before we would think about selling it, and that's the objective for us. And then when it comes to dilution, we hate it too. I'm a shareholder, and we understand that when you dilute your company, it makes it harder to get it fully valued. So we're sensitive to that, but I would never say never. If we can get into a situation where we have a premium on our valuations, then that's a time that you might consider taking some money. But right now, the job for us is to get these up and running, get the company fully valued, keep the dilution on the sidelines for now, and move forward in a responsible way that's going to align ourselves with the attitudes of European shareholders and other shareholders, and keep the dilution down, get the company fully valued, and I think if we can do that, we'll be successful in the market and on the ground.
Andrew, I think it was a perfect update. Ja, es war ein Update von East African Metals. Finanzierung, großes Thema. Wenn diese Finanzierung durch ist, geht er davon aus, oder hat man aus seinem Gespräch raushört, dass es möglicherweise die letzte Finanzierung war. Sie wollen, und das war ganz wichtig, interessant zu hören, 2018 geht er davon aus, dass Ende 2018 er 2 produzierende Mine haben, plus natürlich Royalties kriegt von seinem Tansania-Projekt. Dann brauchen sie eigentlich keine Finanzierung mehr, und dann können sie mehr oder weniger die weitere Entwicklung von Cashflow aussteuern. Er hasst genauso Dilution wie wir, also Verwässerung des Aktienkapitals durch Private Placements. Und ja, ich habe ihn dann noch gefragt, wie schaut es denn aus, ist da die Möglichkeit, dass die Company übernommen wird? Er sagt, ja, klar, gibt es immer, es gibt auch Gespräche, aber zuerst ist für ihn wichtig, dass man den fairen Wert, den vollen Wert des Unternehmens einmal hebt, bevor man dann zu einer Übernahme kommt. Und solange das nicht der Fall ist, sieht er da keinen Grund, warum man die Company eigentlich verkaufen soll. Verstehe ich vollkommen, so muss es auch sein. Spannend. Also sie sind in einem interessanten Gebiet, sie haben dort was bewegt, sie wären die erste Mine, die dort unter dem neuen Minengesetz in Produktion geben würde, und das könnte natürlich ein Keybreaker sein. Und wenn natürlich der Goldpreis weiterlaufen sollte, wie er läuft, dann sollte eigentlich East African Metals wirklich einen guten Lauf haben. Zuerst muss aber die Finanzierung durch sein, weil sonst ist immer ein gewisser Deckel drauf. Das war's von East African Metals. Andrew Lee Smith, PDEC 2017. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.
Danke. Thank you very much.